Hello everyone, and welcome to the Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Care Network. I'm Dean, the host of the N.A.R.C.N Network and channel, and also the host of the Unmasking the Narcissist channel. Today I'm going to be presenting to you episode 169, and this is part 2 of episode 169, the title of which is, What Does the Narcissist Need to Return? So in part 1 of this episode, we talked about a couple of things that the narcissist requires in order to return to you. And we're just going to continue off from part 1 of that episode and just discuss a couple of other things that the narcissist requires. So we were talking about the fact that the narcissist requires some degree of safety to return to you and why that is the case. But when it comes to the narcissist returning to you, one of the other things they require is time. And the time it takes for a narcissist to work their way back in with you, if they truly do want to reacquire you as an appliance, can differentiate depending on the narcissist, but can also differentiate depending on what exactly happened with you and the narcissist. If you had a very bad breakup with the narcissist, that the narcissist didn't actually employ themselves upon you, either in a devaluation period or through whatever else they chose to do with you, then the narcissist may come in a much quicker way than they would if it was actually you who actually broke it off with them. Because generally when narcissists are in a control structure setting with you, they generally take anywhere from about 3 months to 6 months to put you in that devaluation period and then to possibly work you back into their fuel matrix. But if you had a breakup with a narcissist where you were the one particularly in control of getting rid of that narcissist, it may take a little more time. The narcissist will feel less secure with dealing with you because you were the one in control in that particular period. And because of this, the narcissist is going to take a lot more care with trying to get back into your life or get you back as a fuel source, because they're not going to be sure exactly of how to deal with you. They've realized at that point that you had enough balls to cut off with them, and they're going to tread very carefully with you after that to see exactly how you behave or what particularly goes on with you as far as whatever way they're going to deal with you when they try to get you back into their fuel source matrix. So it's going to take a varying amount of time. Now, of course, if the narcissist broke up with you under very negative circumstances, of their own doing, sometimes they can come back in rather quickly with confidence. Sometimes they take a little bit more time. It depends on the particular narcissist, even though we have stated, of course, in the past that all narcissists behave somewhat the same as far as their behaviors with people and as far as how they deal with victims. They are individuals and they do have their individual traits, and you have to gauge what the narcissist is doing based on those traits. But they will usually work their way back in with you in about, let's say, maybe a maximum of 6 months, let's say. They'll find a way to get back in with you. They'll find a way to try to groom you again. They'll come in with a hoover. They'll come in and saying something, like, hey, can it be something as simple as, hey, how's it going? I haven't talked to you in a really long time. How are you doing? What's up with you? What's new with you? It can be something as simple as that. Or it could be something as menacing as them going, hey, I need your help. Something is wrong. Something is up in my life, and I need your assistance for some particular reason. It can be something like that they use to suck you back in. Or it can be something related to some other thing that you're going on. It could be related to an item that they've left at your house. It could be related to an item that you've left with them. It could be for many reasons, but the narcissist is going to make some type of move towards you to try to get you back into communication with them and try to get you back in, because you've just arrived at that time where it's that time to start giving you a hoover and to see whether or not you respond to it, to see whether or not you're open to it, to see whether or not you're comfortable talking to the narcissist, to see whether or not you're still angry about whatever happened with you and them, to see if you're amicable and open to welcoming them back with open arms into your life, depending on what it is that happened between you and the narcissist. There's many things that dictate when and under what circumstances in which the narcissist may actually return, and there can be different reasons why they elect to return, but the main reason they always elect to return is that they need fuel. And this brings up another particular point here. When the narcissist is coming back and trying to get back in with you and get you back into their fuel matrix, it's often because the other appliance that they were dealing with, or the other appliances, because often, as we know, the narcissist has multiple appliances and you're not the only person that they're dealing with. This is because they could have lost that appliance, or they could have lost a few appliances. They could be in a flat-out dry spell because the individuals they were dealing with also now became aware that they are dealing with possibly a narcissist, and they now don't want to have anything to do with that narcissist. So this narcissist is going through fuel starvation because they do not have individuals giving them that fuel that they require on a constant basis. And if they think that they can get that fuel back from you because you're still willing to give it to them, well, along they come here and trying to get that fuel back from you and trying to get back into your life in some capacity. And whatever happened with you at that particular time, whether it be a bad breakup or whatever, they'll act like they're over that. They'll act like that doesn't bother them. They'll act like they did a whole lot of thinking about whether or not what happened with you was the end of your relationship with them, or the end of them dealing with you, and they'll figure out a way to finagle an excuse or some type of reasoning thing with you that allows them to get back into your good graces, or perhaps allows you to get back into their good graces, as they often think to themselves. And then here we are, you're stuck dealing with the narcissist again in this particular way. So as far as what the narcissist needs to return, these are a few of the particular things that they need to return. They need to feel safe, just like we need to feel safe in a relationship, even if that safety is just a temporary thing to allow them to get you back into their fuel matrix and allow them to get the things off you that they need on a day-to-day basis. They'll watch and they'll wait. They'll watch you on social media to see what's going on with you. Like I just said before in episode 1, they may watch to see whether or not you're vulnerable. Perhaps you've had a romantic episode with somebody new and it didn't work out well, and they've decided, oh, this is a good time to come back in because now you're vulnerable. They will look for these things and these ways in with you and determine the degree of safety that there is related to this, how vulnerable you might be, how open you might be to their advances towards you. They'll take into account all of these things, and they'll generate whether or not they're going to try to return to you based on all of those things. And again, as we were saying earlier in this video, it can also just be a question of time. Narcissists have a very saccadic and a very cyclic manner of working in their brains. Sometimes it's just a matter of time. My narcissist that I dealt with in my life had patterns. I could see these patterns. I could clock these patterns. And all narcissists have these patterns. Sometimes it's just a certain amount of time that a narcissist feels safe or feels like they need to work back into you to try to see what you're up to and what you're doing and whether or not you're amicable or open to a return with them coming back into your life. And this is all that it really takes sometimes to determine whether or not or when a narcissist is actually going to return with you. But like I was saying in episode 1, it's possible if you are too difficult a person to deal with or too challenging. You may be even too challenging even if you have a narcissist that likes you to interject a lot of chaos in their life. If you are too challenging and you do not have enough benefits for that narcissist, you have nothing that they can particularly get off of you. They're not interested in necessarily the sexual connection with you. They're not getting the proper amount of actual attention or fuel off of you. They just don't see anything useful that they can get from you. They perhaps won't return at all. Or they may return after a series of, years. Narcissists sometimes return after 5 years. I've even heard stories on my N.A.R.C.N network of people saying, I didn't hear from my narcissist for 14 years. And then suddenly, all of a sudden, out of the blue, bang, this narcissist is writing up this person going, hey, I found you on social media, and I thought, I should write you up and see how you're doing. I haven't had any conversation with you. I haven't talked to you in 14 years. I kind of missed you, and whatever other dialogue they might use to get in with you. So there's all different instances under which the narcissist can try to work their way back into a return with you. You just have to keep an eye out, and you have to look out for the red flags, and you have to be aware of what the red flags are, and then you have to conduct yourself in an intelligent manner as to whether or not you want to re-engage with this narcissist, or if you don't. And if you don't, of course, you can block them, you can eliminate them from your life in whatever capacity that is again, and just keep them at bay and go that particular route. But again, these were just some of the things I was going to talk to you guys about concerning, when a narcissist basically makes a return to you and how they may make that return. So this has been part 2 of episode 169. I hope that gave you guys a little bit of insight as to what narcissists do when they return, or the means under which they may actually try to effect a return to you. I'm just going to say to you guys, hope you guys stay tuned. I got lots of content coming up on the N.A.R.C.N network, as well as some stuff on the Unmasking the Narcissist channel. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you again really soon.